All right, guys, welcome to the next episode of F1 My Life. We're doing the Monza and Sochi, Russian, so also known as the Russian Grand Prix recap.
Grand Prix.
Yeah, so we're just going to recap both those races. So Russia was just today, and we just watched that, so that's fresh.
I'm sorry, do we not do introductions anymore? Like, I'm Priya, you're Cam.
I'm Cam.
This is Milo.
And that's Milo.
How rude.
Everybody knows us, man. Our audience knows us.
Our audience is your mom and one other person.
My mom doesn't watch this podcast. Oh God. I was wondering, I was like, yeah, she definitely doesn't watch this. Neither does your mom.
My mom doesn't understand still what YouTube is, I think. She knows it within the confines of like what she needs for her day-to-day life. But I think she keeps asking me, she's like, why do you talk to a camera like once every couple weeks?
Yeah, I mean, podcast, dude.
I think my mom thinks of podcasters in a different way. She's like, that's no way to make a living. And I'm like, this isn't my living.
Not making a living. I'm just messing around, dude. Having some fun. So we watched Monza and we watched Russia over these last couple weekends. And as always, I watched Monza in Vancouver.
Yeah, I know.
I was on the West Coast, so it's been like a crazy, again, I'm traveling and whatnot. So
same story,
it's been nuts. So I actually had to get up early on the West Coast to watch that race, and while I was like shooting a wedding and doing a next day edit and everything, so exhausted. But we had Monza and then we had Russia, so I guess, like, do you want to start with our usual stuff, like with the quali on Monza, and just talk about that, and then jump through the race, and then jump to, like, obviously the results?
I just want to talk about Monza so badly, and you know why.
Let's do it. Where's Italy? Italy, okay, and now we're at... Oh, they did sprint, dude. Yeah, that's right, sprint quali.
Yeah. You didn't watch sprint quali. Or maybe
no, I did.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. I know. I watched it. I had to catch it after. Remember? I didn't watch it live, but I remember. I was like, I need to find this somewhere so I can watch it. So I can watch the race tomorrow.
Sprint was interesting. I'll be honest with you. It just like wasn't good for some people, obviously at all. Like Gasly.
I think they did quali first.
Yeah.
Qualification was kind of standard, you know?
Don't ever call it qualification.
Quali was kind of standard. Like Mercedes, the 1-2. I mean, Bottas actually came in first in quali. I was like, whoa.
Lewis is not actually qualifying well. Like, Lewis doesn't, like, even in Sochi, like, he qualified
he didn't qualify well. I mean, I think some tracks they do better, some tracks they don't, right? That's what they say. Verstappen in third. Norris and Ricciardo, the McLarens, have been doing very well this year. Obviously, Gasly, Sainz, Leclerc.
Well, Norris has been doing well.
True. The Ferraris have been doing kind of like
better than
whatever.
They were.
Yeah, it's like hit and miss with them. And then Perez, like, being a ninth is kind of standard, I feel, these days. Like, that's kind of where he ends up.
I always am, like, so shocked where Ocon is just, like, up there. I'm like, where the heck is this guy? Who knows about Ocon?
He's like one of those randoms that just, like, randomly pops.
It's like that person sitting next to you and you're like...
hey, bro, you're supposed to be in the midfield. What are you doing up here?
Or, like, you're supposed to be in, like,
Hey, you're supposed to be in coach. What are you doing in first class?
Yeah, like...
You know?
I don't care who likes Ocon. I'm not a fan. His demeanor. His demeanor just, like, it bothers me.
I mean, we haven't really seen much of... I mean,
it's very sinister.
They probably do interview him and stuff like that, but, like...
Yeah, I was happy he won.
I'm trying to watch it.
Whatever.
So sprint happened. Hamilton dropped back.
Hard.
In sprint quali. Ricciardo and Norris moved up to third and fourth. Verstappen moved up to second. Leclerc and Sainz moved up to sixth and seventh. And Perez stuck around ninth.
And then
your usual suspects. So, like, I guess, like, honestly, like, love, like, what's the first, like, what's your impression so far on sprint quali? What do you think? Do you like it?
I don't love it, and I know people like it. I know, I don't love it.
Why?
I don't love it just because, like, the thing is like, and I get, like, what they're trying to do. Like, I understand the purpose behind it, but, like, I think I feel like, okay, So this is a little bit about myself. Like, I can't watch certain things because it makes me feel bad for the characters. Like, in like movies, like Cam knows this, like there's certain movies, like I can't remember which one it was. It was like Shawshank Redemption or something like that.
What?
Or what was that movie where like Leonardo DiCaprio was like beating somebody?
What do you mean?
And it was like
Django Unchained. But you only saw the one scene.
It doesn't matter.
We watched the one scene where he's like, where he finds out.
It's very violent. That's all that matters.
He finds out who Jamie Foxx's character really is and what they're really there to do, and he smashes the skull. It wasn't like violent. It was just like a very intense scene. Like,
isn't that where he like cut his hand and kept going?
Yeah, but he's not hurting
No.
anybody. He like literally just smacking. I mean, he grabs the girl by the head and stuff. Like, he's very like.
That's violent to me.
Yeah, but he's just such an amazing actor. He can.
Yes,
I get what you mean.
See, I can understand. Like, I understand realistically that he's an actor.
Yeah.
But like, I can't separate the fact that like I inherently feel for the female character, or just even him. Like, I feel bad, so I can't. I just empathize too much. I just can't get over it. So what I mean by that is like what is it? Like, Gasly got screwed in sprint quali, and like I just feel like his entire race was screwed based on that. Because you go into Parc Ferme still. Like, I know if you sustain damage, you can like, you know, it's like you can change out the damaged pieces or whatever, but there's certain things like you can't change. So in conditions like what we've seen in the last 3 races with rain, like, it just sucks because this is like quali the way that quali is. I really don't think we should change it. Sprint, I really just feel like is like a portion of a race, and it's to bring in proceeds to Formula One. And like
they said their idea is to make it more exciting for the fans.
That's great. It's not exciting for me. It's stressful. Like, I feel stressed.
I mean, races stress is a form of excitement.
No, but it's
just the
like
wrong kind of excitement.
Quali makes me stressed enough, and like a good way. But like sprint quali, like I'm constantly worried about these 20 drivers. Like, I worry about them during the race, but like I sincerely worry about them during sprint because they put pedal to the metal and they want to get those 3 points. Like, it's hard, you know what I mean? And just like, what if they're pushing so hard that it's not like, it doesn't turn out to be quali anymore? Like, it doesn't turn. It's like we're fighting for a place on the grid.
Isn't. Yeah, it isn't.
So
it's
the
weird.
answer to your question is no. I don't like it, and that's fine.
I get what you're saying though, because like, it's essentially sprint qualification is literally a race.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally a
like
race.
16 or 20 laps. I can't remember.
If you're just trying to make it, honestly, my answer to the FIA is like, if you want things to be more exciting or engaging for the fans, have more races.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing this half race qualification kind of 2 races in one? Because like, that's essentially like all they're doing is they're putting on a mini race for the fans, and it's like, how about you just put more races on the circuit or stretch out the F1 year? Because as far as I'm concerned, like, when you go into a qualification like that, you're running, the drivers and the teams are running like all the same risk as they would as if they're really racing.
Exactly.
And racing has more risks, I believe anyway, in my opinion, than doing just like regular qualification, because in quali it's controlled, they can spread the cars out. Yeah, people like, you know, when they're lining up to like, you know, do a fast lap, that can cause issues when they slow down and shit like that. Like, that can happen, I get that, but it's more of a controlled and like, yeah, just a controlled environment. Whereas racing is like, these guys are racing.
All 20 people are going for 3 points.
Yeah, they're going like as fast, like they're actually racing.
It's pole, because
so it's like, it is exciting, but yes, racing, that's why we watch Formula One, is for people to race, because racing is exciting. But why would you do that as a secondary thing to quali? And it's like, just just do more races, or do double headers.
Yeah,
double headers. If you want to do double headers in one place,
that's hard for the drivers. So,
well, like, they're still doing a race. I don't get it though. It's the same thing, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
It's just like, okay, it's less time in the car, but you got to get the tires on, get the car all ready to go, and like do the sprint like it's a race. It literally is a race,
the pit crew there and everything. So, I am okay with sprint quali. It's fine. Whatever. Like, I'll tolerate it. It's not like I'm not going to watch it. It's not like it's not exciting. It's just, it's very stressful for me. The reason that this particular sprint was interesting is because, do you remember this part where, like, so it was Bottas, Verstappen, Ricciardo.
Yeah.
But Bottas got sent to the back of the grid. So he got P1, but he didn't retain pole. Max ended up starting on P1. Do you remember that?
You're right, yeah.
I forgot about that for like a second.
Yes.
Because I was reading something about like how, so speaking of Gasly, like he just got completely screwed. Like he hit the wall during like sprint. He got like lightly tapped. I think it was like
What was it with Bottas that sent him to the back?
I think it was a grid. I think it was a grid penalty due to like a gear shift change. Let me just look at it really fast because it's going to bother me now if I don't remember it.
Yeah, he did something, wasn't like something that was overtly...
Oh, no, it was during the last race, wasn't it? Where he's, because of the race prior to this. Wait, let me just see. You were right. There was a good reason for it. So, I don't remember actually.
It was the grid penalty on Monza, right?
No, it was played at Monza. So knowing fully well that the penalty would be afflicting the Finn for Sunday's Grand Prix. Why is that? Hamilton, Norris. I don't know.
After engine change.
Yeah, so so engine change.
Yeah, so he had to change the engine.
So he started from behind.
Which is interesting. We need to talk about that too.
Yes.
But, yeah, and it was funny because when Bottas got pole, he's like, oh, that's a pole. You know, that's pole right there. And I think, like, Crofty was like, on the commentary, like, the commentator was like, well, not really. Because pole means you start at the front. This is like you got the fastest time in qualification, but no, you didn't get pole.
But he got those 3 world championship points, so that's really all he cared about.
Yeah,
that's really all he cared about.
But it's I just found that interesting because that's an important distinction. Like you can, for example, you can win quali and then speed through the pit lane, and like it doesn't mean you're on pole.
Yeah,
because you'll get a penalty. Pole means you're. The only thing pole means is that you start on the first place on the grid. Technically, it was Max's pole.
It was, and that's why he was so happy.
Yeah.
Although he only got 2 points, he still started on pole position. Ricciardo started in second.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it was an interesting race, even aside from the incident. Is he sleeping?
Yeah, he's asleep.
Oh my God, it's like just my left arm.
Puppy.
We need a puppy cam.
Yeah, I didn't. I'll do it. I'll do it maybe on the next podcast.
Yeah, he's so cute. He's growing. Okay, really quick thing.
Let us know. Do you guys want a puppy cam for YouTube where I just literally have a camera on him? I'll put it as a little picture-in-picture where you could just see Milo.
Yeah, if that's all you want to log in for, that's fine. I didn't understand people and their pets. Okay, so I am the most tired I think I've ever been in the last 2 months that I've been in since I was in PA school. And I was gonna say growing a puppy. Raising a puppy is super hard, but oh my God, it is so rewarding. People talk about how they love their pets and they let them lick your face. I was always the kind of person that was like, no, that's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna do this. I bathe this guy. I bathe him with love. I sing to him. I now understand people and their. Did you hear my song?
Yeah, dude. You talk to him. It's weird. He's an animal. He can't understand you.
I was by myself for 2 weeks.
He can't understand you. It's funny.
All of that aside, so he's here with us obviously today, and will be there with us for all of our podcasts. So the race was interesting. Even I'm sure you watched the race at this point. Even despite Max and Lewis going at it and being so dumb, the both of them. Not gauging distance, not gauging space. I still feel the race was really interesting, and I still feel that Ricciardo dominated. Obviously, Ricciardo...
Hey, dude, you think?
He won.
You think Ricciardo dominated? He kind of won the race.
So I feel like I need to bring this up.
Nice one-liner, love.
No, it's I feel like
I
need to bring this up because I have been giving Ricciardo a lot of shit. I love Daniel Ricciardo. I think he's amazing.
I see the segue now.
In the last couple of podcasts, I've really talked about how he isn't doing well. Like, he is just not... I don't see him as, like, a world champion. I'll be honest, I still don't see him as a world champion, but I do see him as an amazing driver, and I think he's developed a lot with McLaren. And obviously the fact that he was able to get P1, retain it, and really, like, fight off a lot of drivers who are very skilled behind him, he deserved Monza. Like, he deserved it a lot. And I feel like I maybe was too quick to judge, or he just really wasn't showing us what he was made of.
I think you have a lot of drivers who are talented. I think Ricciardo is definitely one of those drivers. But then I think you also, like you said, an amazing driver is one thing, a champion is another. I think a lot of these people on the grid could become amazing drivers. What makes a champion, though? It's the car.
Yeah, it's the car. It's
if you
a
don't,
lot of different things, though.
It is. No, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of factors that go into it, but the car does help a lot. And we saw that with Daniel Ricciardo when he raced for Red Bull.
Yeah.
Like, he was a better Formula One driver in Red Bull than he is in McLaren. Like, how do you...
I think we need more time with that before we say
No.
that.
I mean that in the context of, like, he's able to place higher on, like, just because the car is faster, right?
But what about today? What about, like, he's
doing
amazing.
No, that's... And so I guess the point I'm trying to make is, like... if you put, like, let me put it this way. If you put Ricciardo in a Haas versus Ricciardo in a Red Bull versus Ricciardo in a McLaren, you're going to see the differences. And, like, look at George Russell, right? We've seen amazing things from George Russell this year. The one time they put him in a Mercedes, he almost won that race.
Okay, but...
He raced in Turkey and almost won that race.
With that being said, though, he is in a Williams and he got P.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he's clearly... So, to your point, you were saying, I'm agreeing with what you're saying. Like, he's a talented driver. I think George Russell's a talented driver. I think Daniel Ricciardo's a talented driver. But I think their cars tend to hold them back. And the only reason, like, you can say he's a talented driver is because we see that talent, right?
Yeah.
We've seen the talent with Ricciardo and Red Bull. And we saw the talent of, obviously, him winning Monza, right?
Yeah.
But with him, the thing is like, the start of the race, he got a fantastic start.
Yeah.
Like, he went on the outside, I believe, and, like, just passed everybody. And he got an amazing start, and he pretty much stayed there the entire race.
Yeah.
But he, like, and that's the Daniel Ricciardo, like, we need to see. The only way you win races, and we can obviously go into this talking about Russia, is, like, every single thing has to happen perfectly.
It does.
All the decisions, all the strategies, and the driving has to be done perfectly.
I feel like I was being really hard on myself about saying, like, I really had given up on Daniel. I still don't think I was too... Like, I felt bad, but I don't think I was too hard on him. He wasn't showing us what he was made of. There were times where the car was fine and he just wasn't in tune with it. And you knew the car was fine because Norris would have an amazing race. You know what I mean? So, like... I hope that this is the beginning of us seeing Daniel at least be consistent. I don't need to see him P1 every single time. I mean, I would love that. Nothing would make me happier, to be honest with you. I'm a huge Daniel Ricciardo fan. I was devastated when he left. Red Bull.
Yeah, that sucked.
It was awful. It honestly felt personal, and I just won't forget that. It was really hard to watch that.
Yeah. It was like it almost felt like he was giving up.
Yeah.
Like, we were rooting for him, and it's like...
I could see him as a world champion in Red Bull.
But I understand why he left.
I understand it. I still think it was a poor decision, but that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Do I think that he could have overcome obstacles? Do I think that he could have been a really great driver at Red Bull? I think he had more of a chance there than he did at Renault or Alpine.
I think he knew he didn't have a chance at Renault.
Yeah, he did
when
awful
he left.
at Renault. I mean, he podiumed at the last couple whatevers, but the first 2019 sucked for him. Yeah. 2020 was like, all right, but
I think he should have stuck around at Red Bull.
I think he should have stuck around at Red Bull.
At least one more year.
Yeah, but I'm glad he's got a 3-year contract with McLaren. I'm glad to see him developed. This is his first year at McLaren? Yeah, 2021, 2022, 2023, yeah. So first year at McLaren. Like, I'm loving seeing where he is right now. So Daniel obviously won. That was fantastic. He drove a great race. I fault him for nothing. big news, I guess, was this incident between Max and Lewis.
Yeah. I mean, I guess before we get into all that, like they were even saying that Red Bull struggles in Monza a little bit. I guess we're not really going to know the full extent of that because obviously Verstappen and Hamilton DNF'd. But I mean, yeah, Perez, it's hard to judge with Perez. That's why I can't even really talk about him. But they did say that, you know, Red Bull struggles there. The other interesting thing I found was like, and it sucks. Again, we're never going to see come to fruition. But do you remember when the race started, Hamilton was on hards and everyone else was on mediums?
Yeah.
I was so curious to see how that tire strategy was going to work out. I was so curious. He was the only driver, one of 20, that was on hards.
Yeah.
The rest of them were on medium. So I wanted to see how that was going to work out. And I guess the other thing was Lewis and Norris. They were racing,
They were racing hard. They were doing such a, like, Norris, I will never stop saying it. Norris has been...
You've been saying it.
Yeah.
If you guys want to go back to the previous podcasts, like, literally, probably, I got to check them out, too. I should check them out and see the first one. But I think since the first podcast this season, you've been saying, like, Norris is, like, your dark horse. I think I said
last
Perez.
Year.
I said Perez actually, and you said Norris, and I'm obviously, you know, he's not doing too much for me. But Norris is like putting up.
Good race,
damn, you should have put money on that, dude.
Yeah,
you should have put some money down on that. You would have, and but you would have been totally heartbroken today if whatever. But no, I mean, like Lando Norris, like.
He has got some juice. He's got whatever, like, Williams, George Russell's got.
He's
like,
got the secret sauce.
He's got that secret sauce. And it's really interesting to see him and Russell are, like, friends.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like, I know that they're all, like, whatever, like, friendly. But, like, they're actually, like, friends. Like, today, like, I imagine that, like, Russell and, like, Norris and maybe even Leclerc are having, like, chocolate milk and cookies and, like, sitting there lamenting about, like, their, you know, lost wins. Because they've each been through one, right? Leclerc completely lost in Italy one year. George Russell had first stolen from his hands, and of course Norris will get to. But like, it's really cool to see these drivers develop together. Lewis Hamilton even talks about it. He's like, he's such a great driver.
He says that when he's in front of him.
Yeah.
not when Norris is in front of him.
No.
But no, it's been really interesting to watch Lando. I'm curious to see him because, you know, a lot of these guys, and I kind of feel the same way about Verstappen, but like I feel like Norris has really started to figure out the mental side of, you know, racing and how to just put all like his talent along with his like mental state.
Yep.
And I think that's why he's starting to do very, very well. He's able to get that focus. And the thing is like we saw the downside of this today. But one thing I've noticed, and I was talking to you about this with Verstappen, is like Verstappen, I feel like over the past couple of years, he comes off very like emotional, hot-headed, a little bit rude, a little bit standoffish. And I feel like over the past like season or two, he's become a little more just like very like he lets things just like slide off his back a little bit. He doesn't care. And I noticed it I noticed it mostly with when this crash happened at Silverstone. Everybody in the F1 world was so up in arms about like, oh my god, what happened, whose fault was it, and why did Lewis celebrate when Verstappen was in the hospital and all this and that. Yeah, Verstappen made a post about it and said this and that, and Lewis had his comments on it, but very shortly after he was just like, what, it's over, we're drivers, I don't want to be asked any more questions about this.
Yep.
And you know, the next thing you see is like when him and Lewis are like in the paddock and stuff, they're like fist bumping and like what, and he's just like, I'm over it, like you guys need to stop talking about it, let's just race. Like, and I was like, wow, this is such a level of maturity, you know, coming from him. And I think Lando's starting to kind of get there as well.
I think on that note, the reason I sighed so heavily there is because, like, I was really bummed about the fact that like Max let it slide off of his back, and then we were back in that same situation.
What do you mean?
Let's jump into the incident that happened with him and Lewis.
Yeah.
Leading up to this incident, I think it's worth mentioning that like the pit crew has sucked lately. Like I don't know what's going on. Yeah, but I mean Lewis had a bad pit stop as well. Like he had a 4.
Though.
But like
it's
these rules have changed to make it like more human, to like put the lollipop down, whatever.
Yeah, there's something going on there, and
it's basically since like 2 races ago, I think it was. So Max had like a horrific stop. Like he had like an 11-second stop. And then he comes back and it's him and Lewis, and they're taking a turn and they're racing, right?
They're going through a chicane.
They're going through the chicane, and Max hits the sausage curb.
Jumps his car. It goes a little airborne. Little enough to put him on top of Lewis. And
that's physics. Like, explain it to me another way. Whatever, that's physics.
Yeah.
And like then I see like people like saying, oh my God, he didn't, Max didn't even check to make sure Lewis was okay before he walked out. He ran him across the road. I'll be honest with you. I think both of those drivers, I think Max gets this reputation for being Mad Max, and Lewis gets this like peace, love, and like positivity vibe, like sending everyone vibes kind of thing. But we all who watch F1 see Lewis's like tantrums and such. They all have tantrums, but like we see all of their tantrums. We see all of their games with like playing like, oh, my tires are not working. Like we see all of this. This is not something that is like new to me. But it bothers me because I don't think this was one person's fault. I'll be honest. I was mad. I remember I slammed my hand against the table and I was so pissed that like Max was out of the race, and I was relieved because it meant so was Lewis, because I didn't want him to take hold of the world championship points. But I was mad because I don't feel that one driver was at fault. And I've watched a lot of the footage. I still don't feel that there was a fault here. And if there was a fault, like, I'm having a hard time recognizing it. I'm the first person to say Lewis does a great job, whatever. Like, I really respect him. I think Max looked back and knew that, he was fine. But then all of these graphics came out like, oh, the halo saved Lewis's life, which it did. It wasn't like he maliciously wanted to kill him or something. I don't understand people's anger about this. And then on top of it, the stewards penalize him so hard that I think he gets a 3-place grid penalty or a 5-place grid penalty or something absurd like that. And Lewis comes off scot-free. Lewis has done worse stuff. Sorry, Milo. Lewis has done worse stuff.
Yeah, I think that the stewards looked at it to that point, and I think they felt that it was more so Verstappen's fault than Hamilton's. And that is what it is. I mean, I don't know. In that case, I do. I mean, people are always going to say, oh, you're biased because you're a Red Bull fan. But if you look at that over and over, if it's that hard, I mean, and yeah, some people might be like, oh, it's pretty blatant that, in my opinion, they were racing. And you got to put this on the context of, these guys are making split-second decisions. It's not like he was just oh, I'm going to, he saw him coming from behind and swerved to get in his way or something like that. It wasn't like that. They were going through a chicane, and you make split-second decisions. And when they crashed in Silverstone, people were saying it. They're like, these guys this is just the nature of the season we're having. And I don't think people are used to it. They're used to seeing just Lewis dominating the entire time and Verstappen maybe getting into first here and there, but they're not used to seeing this head-to-head battle. And the thing is, when you have drivers who are going to head-to-head battle like this, they're bound to hit each other, crash. These things are going to happen. That's kind of the conclusion I've drawn from it. So it's I look at it and yes, it's yeah, I am a Max Verstappen. I'm a fan of all of them, but I really enjoy watching Max Verstappen race. And it's yeah, that side of me is Verstappen wasn't at fault. But if I'm looking at it objectively, it's it's bound to happen, and it's probably going to happen more.
I just don't feel that needed to be a penalized,
penalty. Yeah, I think that was a little much.
I don't. I'm not sitting here saying it was Lewis's fault. I can see how both of them should have backed off. I can see how both of them, but it's like
I didn't see him do anything overtly wrong.
Yeah,
right?
if you're expecting someone else to give you room and the other person's expecting you to give room,
it's a chicane.
It's going to cause a problem. And when you both are fighting for the world championship, like you're not going to be the person to back down. Like, look at today.
It's racing, dude.
Yeah, look at today. Like Lewis didn't want to pit, Norris didn't want to pit. Like nobody wanted to give up first. Like what Formula One driver in their right mind would want to give it up? So it just bothered me that, like,
you know?
What do they call it? Like FIA, they call it like there's like a whole troll online that they call it like the FIA.
Stewards?
Yeah, but they call them like FI Mercedes or something like that.
No way.
What is it?
I mean, that's just one account.
No.
One of these meme accounts.
No. I'll find it for like the next podcast that we do. This race also saw like quite a few people out. Yuki Tsunoda, Gasly, Max, Hamilton, Mazepin, no surprise. And like a ton of penalties. Like, so Perez is somebody that I do want to talk about. Perez is an aggressive driver as well. He is very good at coming from the back of the pit or the back of the grid to like whatever place you want to give him. But he makes like dumb mistakes. He's kind of like I don't know who he's like. He makes dumb mistakes. Like he takes a position when he got a lasting advantage when he runs somebody off, like Bottas, and then doesn't give the position back until like literally the stewards or like somebody else gets involved. Like I don't know, Perez just does like not smart things. So he got a 5-second penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage, which basically cost him podium. Like, it cost him a ton of places. Like, he doesn't need to be making those kinds of errors. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I just feel like he's a great racer, and yeah, he's like good at like playing the team game, but like he's not.
He can't put it together.
He's not putting it all. He has all the pieces, but they're not together.
Majority of guys can't put it together. Like you talk about like Ricciardo, like he's clearly got talent. Ricciardo has talent, but he can't put it together.
Yeah, I just feel like Perez is very talented, and he just can.
Leclerc, I feel,
not get it together.
I mean, sometimes he can. I think he can put it together most times more than not.
More than
but
not.
Like, there are certain guys out there who are talented. Like I think, like you take Lando for example, he's starting to put it together a little bit, right? But
Lando's getting it.
With Perez, it's like he's got the skill, and he's able to make the car work. But sometimes it's just. And you see it with Lewis, like the patience he deploys at certain times, and the strategy, like, and you see that with Verstappen sometimes too. Like he deploys a lot of patience and stuff here and there, but like, it just you got to put it together, right? It's like I feel like it's like holding something that's like hard to hold, you know?
Yeah.
You know, one of those like slippery toys they used to have as like a kid where it's like you try to hold it and it's all slipping out of your hand. It's like one of those things, and like not everyone can do it, but these guys are able to somehow figure it out and do it.
They all have the pieces.
It's
They're
like
all
juggling.
Formula One drivers.
It's like juggling.
Yeah, but
right?
it's like I'm disappointed in Perez because I'm like, he has an amazing car, he has an amazing team, he's been given an amazing opportunity.
Yeah.
And like, he should not be making these mistakes. Like he races aggressively to the point where sometimes I'm like, you're gonna mess up.
Yeah. My last note on here was amazing racing by Norris on the restart to take P2.
Oh my God, he did so well.
Yeah.
Him and Leclerc were racing each other, and it was just 1-2 finish. My boy Lando, Daniel Ricciardo. Who was third?
No, it was Norris. Was Norris P2? Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Monza's where dreams come
Bottas,
true.
Leclerc. So Ricardo, Norris, Bottas, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Stroll. What are you doing there? Alonso, Russell, and Ocon.
Except Perez dropped like I think down.
Yeah,
more than
but with that said, you're talking about, and like I was saying, like when the top two guys are out of the race, it's kind of a grain of salt with all that, right? So.
He's so tired. He's like not even letting me.
Yeah, he's like. Milo, you didn't have anything to add to the podcast today at all, huh?
He just twitched his
You're
foot.
just chilling there?
Yeah, all right.
You know?
Thanks for that, Milo. I really loved, this is my last note about Monza.
Yeah.
Daniel Ricciardo's end remarks kind of made me very tearful.
Which was?
He basically said, like, I've for everyone who, like, doesn't believe I've been here, like, I've been here and I'm showing up, like, I'm back.
Yeah.
And, like, dreams do come true in Monza. Like, what was it? Last year was Gasly.
Yeah.
Like, dreams come true in Monza. And, like, I was so happy for Daniel Ricciardo. He's been through so much, whether it's self-inflicted or not. Like, it doesn't matter. He's been through the ringer. And I just feel like you see people like, you know...
his story is so interesting.
It is. And I think there's something about Daniel Ricciardo that just makes you really feel like you're friends with him, even though you're not, or at least want to be friends with him. Like, I would love to chill out with Daniel Ricciardo, listen to music, and, like, ride a tractor, because apparently that's what he does in Sydney. Like, I just feel like he's that kind of person that has a very great personality, and it's like I think that's the great thing about Formula One, and the reason I like doing this is because, like, all these drivers are, like, people I would, like, want to be friends with, save for, like, you
Ocon.
know who I was going to say, Mazepin and Ocon. Like, I'll pass. So I was really like that elation that he had when he was driving and figured he was P1. I mean, that was like really special.
Yeah, he's
and the
got a lot to
disgusting
prove.
shoeies.
Yeah, he's got.
I would do a shoey.
You don't know how bad they are. You got to try it. You can't not.
If I was on a podium with Daniel Ricciardo, if I was anywhere with Daniel Ricciardo, I would do a shoey. I would do a shoey so hard.
I would, if I just saw him walking down the street. If I saw him walking in the airport.
I would take off my shoe.
I'd be like, bro,
pour
shoey
water
right
and
now.
Do it right there.
You have
Bet.
to. It's for the culture. Bet. And Priya started saying bet. Any other comments on Monza? No, you're absolutely right. He has so much to prove, man. And he had such an up and down, and people are obviously having the same conversation we're having. Like, is he the same driver? Can he do it? Is he, like, washed up? Is this... And, you know, he's constantly having to prove himself. But I think Ricciardo has yet to still kind of find a home. I think he's...
I think McLaren is home for a while. He's going to come to you now.
I don't know.
McLaren is... Ooh, you've
obviously
got my mic.
Obviously it's home for now, but
thank you.
I don't know if it'll be... Like, I think he's going to make, like, at least one more move before he finds... Like
really? Where do you think he's gonna go? Is he gonna keep taking all of Carlos Sainz's things and go to Ferrari now? Like, are you gonna take his stuff?
I think he's eventually gonna end up at like a Ferrari or a Red Bull. Yeah, I think he may come back to Red Bull.
Maybe there's gonna be a second position available at
or maybe Alpha.
No.
Danny and AlphaTauri.
Oh, AlphaTauri. I thought you were going to say Alfa Romeo, and I was like, why?
No, AlphaTauri.
Yeah, get Yuki out of there. No, I'm just kidding. Yuki signed. We like you, Yuki. No, talk about making a mistake. Isn't he the one that got the penalty for, like, crossing the pit lane twice?
Did he?
Yes.
Milo's looking at you like, what are you talking about?
Sorry, Babu.
Like, why are you yelling so much?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We need a puppy cam.
He's so clean. I gave him a bath. I wish you could smell. He smells like argan oil and oatmeal, and he's so clean right now.
Oatmeal doesn't smell like anything.
I don't know. It smells good on a dog. It smells good on Milo.
We like our dog to smell like breakfast.
Yeah, I hate oatmeal every day.
Yeah,
God, it smells so good.
I think he's I think Ricciardo is definitely showing that he's still got the sauce, you know.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, what happened to Lewis? Oh yeah, he got saved by the halo. Oh my God, it was such a crass remark by Max too. He was like, I'm pretty sure if he flew to America for a gala, he was fine.
Facts though, you know what I'm saying?
He's like, I did check. He was still trying to back up when I left, like when I hopped out of the car. He's like, I'm sure he was fine.
Yeah,
he was trying to back up.
He literally was.
He was.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's like, how do you really tell, like, I don't know, man. But it was when a crash like that happens, you can say, "Oh, you should get out of the car and like check on him." It's like,
not everyone's Vettel, okay?
Yeah, like I don't know, man.
There's memes. There's memes about Bottas looking at the footage of the crash at the end. We saw like the post-race interview, or I did. I saw the post-race interview. Do you remember that part where like they are showing Bottas like the crash, and he just like turns around and he's like. Because he didn't know what had happened.
Yeah, he was just like, what do you want me to do?
You know, he was like,
he's like, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, and he's like, but I did well, you know.
People are hilarious, man. Let's just take a look at this. It's like, Okay. Cool.
Everyone's good. Yeah.
The commentators sometimes.
Some
like,
of the commentators
what are
at
you
the post race
doing?
are so
The questions they ask, I'm like, okay.
just maddening. Just maddening.
It's like, why the hell would you ask that? It's a stupid question.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Sochi.
So on to Russia. This was interesting, man.
Russia was so early in the morning. I feel like I blacked out during quali.
6 a.m. I don't know how you guys on the West Coast watch F1,
7.
dude.
It was 7 for us.
7 a.m. That's right.
It was so exhausting.
So I mean,
Oh, it's
I'm already tired. So sorry, we just threw that into the audio. Quali, we had Norris, Sainz, Russell, Hamilton.
Hey, Russell.
Hamilton in 4th. Struggle City. It's like,
Obviously not.
Yeah. Ricardo. Alonso. What are you doing there again, dude?
Alonso,
what are you doing? What are you doing qualifying 6th, dude? Bottas in 7th. What are you doing there? Stroll in 8th. Perez in 9th. There you go.
That's his favorite number.
They should just change his number to that, and Ocon in 10th.
What the heck is he doing up there? Russell.
Leclerc was qualified 15th.
Leclerc did such an amazing job today.
He qualified 15th though. Norris, man, pole sitter.
Please don't say that. I don't like it. I don't. It makes me uncomfortable.
Is it a weird visual for you?
I'm so sorry, Milo.
I mean, that's what they say on the friggin' thing. Pole sitter, yeah.
I don't like it. I just feel like you need to.
What is pole? Where did that come from?
I know, it's just very like aggressive, like pole position.
I don't get pole. I gotta Google that. I don't know what the
Yeah, if you Google pole, I'm sure a lot will come up.
I will try not to Google pole sitter because I think I will be scarred for life. I will see some things I do not wish to see.
Oh my god. Sorry to our moms who will ultimately
Norris,
watch this.
Sainz, they won't watch this shit. Norris, Sainz, shouts to the bromance. Russell in P3, dude.
So
what do you want from me?
So amazing.
What do you want?
Just on his own accord.
What do you need?
People were all about like Norris and Sainz, and I'm like, yeah, that's great.
What? I'm talking like The Notebook. What do you want? What do you want?
Russell is Mr. Saturday.
Miles looking at me. We're good, bro. Just chill.
He's like, when are you guys going to be over?
That was amazing, man. Russell's been showing a little something to us.
He has got the juice, and he is ready for Mercedes. Like, he's ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, very great quality, great for Norris. I'm not surprised though. Norris has been. I'm not surprised if we just keep seeing Norris like, being in the top 5 for the rest of, the remaining races that happen. So we had Norris. What's it called? On pole. The race starts, and we have Sainz get an excellent start.
Launched.
Get a jump on Norris. I love race starts, man. They're so good. It sucked because Monza, they started doing races, like, they used to have them, like, 10 minutes
6:10,
after the hour.
7:10.
Yeah, 8:10 or whatever it may be.
Nope.
And now it's, like, right on.
I need those 10 minutes, FIA,
I remember,
Formula 1.
well, I mean, I just assumed it was that time. I took Milo out to pee quickly, and, like, I come inside, turn on the TV, and they're already, like, 2 laps in, and I'm like...
Yeah, we have, like, a whole morning
what the hell?
routine.
So, yeah, so we missed that race start. But, yeah, this one, Sainz got, like, an excellent start and took Norris.
Launched, literally launched. Yeah. It was amazing. Okay, so Max, you wanted to talk about this. Max started from the back of the grid.
Yes.
So, like, Max started from the back of the grid.
Change.
He had an engine change, and he had a grid penalty. I think that's why no matter what, he was going to be in last. Cam and I had a question about, because we were, like, confused because Leclerc also started from the back of the pack. And then, who else was it? Somebody else. Who was it?
Bottas?
No.
Bottas was supposed to. No. Yeah, they said Bottas. No, because Bottas had an engine penalty as well. And they were actually, no, I'll let you finish before I continue.
No, you explain it better.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that they were saying in the commentary that a lot of drivers are actually probably going to start taking engine penalties because they're going to need to swap out their power units.
Yeah.
Like during the like back half of this season here.
I don't feel like that left tire was on properly. I think that like it's interesting. I think the reason that Max started back of the back was one, he didn't put up any time in quali, so that automatically puts you in 20th.
No, he did that on purpose.
Because he knew he was going to start from the back of the pack.
No, they changed the end. Like they were going to change the. I think they had. I can't remember exactly.
They had to
but they
change
knew that they were going to change the power unit. I don't know if he ran with it in quali or if they were going to do it after. But he didn't bother doing quali because he's like, okay, the engine change is going to come into play, so there's no point in like even going out and
don't even like screw up my intermediates.
It's going to send him to the back anyway.
So
right?
that was that, and then I think we answered our own question because I think the reason that he started from the back of the pack was because he also had the grid penalty for Monza.
Yeah.
And then no, so sorry, you go on with this because this was just an interesting 53 laps.
Yeah, so I mean, Verstappen just completely killed it. I didn't have any doubts though, because I was like, it's Verstappen. Like, you're in the Red Bull. He's one of the best drivers on the grid. Like, he was gonna work his way back up, right? So, I mean, as things kind of sit, let me just look at the results here. That's quali.
Started from the bottom. Now we here.
The race results, pretty decent compared to, like. You got like Hamilton and Bottas. The Mercedes, like, I don't know. Bottas is doing Bottas things, you know. So, like, struggled in quali a little bit. Kind of finished around the same like spot when it came to the race.
I think you have to break this race up into like 3 pieces.
Well,
quali to the race, and then race to like lap 46, and then from there everything changed.
Okay, so race itself, it was like
amazing.
It was amazing. Like, Sainz racing, completely amazing. Perez coming back up to like where we need him to come up. Ricciardo racing like a pretty solid race as well. Verstappen working his way right through the grid, like very slowly but surely. And that's the thing. That's like, again, like talking about his like patience and maturity. Just keeping it calm, just doing what you do, just race, like deploy patience, because it's like, it doesn't matter where you are at the start, it matters where you end at the finish.
He started on hards, right?
I think so.
And then he had to switch to mediums, but ended up going to the intermediate, or mediums and then intermediates.
So, I mean, everyone was racing really well. Sainz, I was very impressed by Sainz. I like how he's doing this year.
There were so many there were so many race leaders.
Yeah.
There was Norris.
And you know, it's cool to see Ricciardo too up there. Given his last race, it's like, yeah, okay, this is maybe, I'm hoping that it's maybe making a lot of sense to him. Clearly, and we'll get into this, making a lot of sense to Norris.
Yeah.
Right? So we get, as we're racing, Norris is racing
seamlessly.
An immaculate race.
Beautifully.
Right? He's just having the race of a lifetime. Oh man, this
it makes me sad.
This Grand Prix was so exciting to watch, though, wasn't it?
It was really exciting.
He's racing like a hell of a race, and then you have Lewis Hamilton like coming back. How did Lewis Hamilton qualify? I'm just trying to remember this now. I'm going back and forth here.
Qualified, I think, 4th.
Lewis Hamilton qualified 4th. That's right.
So
George Russell obviously was gonna, you know, start dropping back.
He didn't drop for like at least 12 to 13 laps though.
He didn't, but it's like bound to happen, man. Like with the Williams.
Where did he finish?
Sorry, no. He did drop back, but they asked him to.
Yeah, because he was like putting up time.
I think it was tire degradation or something along those lines. Williams couldn't. The team told him to
lay off,
and that's so important to keep in mind. Because who knows if he kept pushing that car, like where he could have been, like I'm sure he maybe would have blown the engine or his tires would have burst or something like that. But the fact that he was holding the place all the way up until they told him, like, bro, you need to like back off, says a lot. So we're racing. He's having a fantastic race. Hamilton is he was defending for so long against Hamilton, doing an amazing job.
He did such an amazing job. There was even a point where, like, in the past, Hamilton's been behind Norris, and Norris has kind of, like, succumbed to, like, just, like, his fate. You know what I mean? And he kept Hamilton away. He kept Hamilton away even in like spitting rain. Yeah. Like he kept him away.
No, he was defending it was like yeah, this is my race. Like I'm gonna win it.
It was amazing. Like
it wasn't like he was being hunted.
No. I mean
he wasn't prey.
It wasn't. He was racing Hamilton.
He was like, yeah, this is like my race. Like I'm gonna, and he was defending and racing and like holding his own, and it was great.
And like, like communicating with his race engineers and like, it was
great.
It was great.
And into the later laps here, I mean, they were talking about this as the race was like kind of, I think even before it started, they were looking at the radar and they're like, there is a chance that we may get rain. And you know, honestly, like for me, it's like they say this, I don't know if you noticed, they say this a lot in races. Yeah. Oh, we might get rain. And it never rains. And then usually if it's a rain race, you see that it's like raining.
At the beginning.
It's like there's going to be rain. It's very rare that I find midway through the race, we start to get rain that drastically affects the race itself.
Yeah, we don't generally get that.
That's what started happening here. So in turn around, I think one part of the track is where the storm system was coming in. Turn 5 or 7 or something like that. Around that area, they started having like rain come in, and then it got like more and more. And it was like around the last like 5 laps of the race when the rain started to like really come down. And it was crazy because like we were watching this race and I was just like, Norris, go, like just stay on the slicks. It's like a few more laps, like you can do it, and then all of a sudden you see the rest. It was like a movie. You see everyone else like just peel away. Then like he's on his own and everyone else just, we're going into the pits and we're putting on the other tires. And it's just him and Hamilton like racing. And then you know, Norris is in front, and all of a sudden you see, like, Hamilton dives into the pits, and he's putting on inters.
Well, they both kind of go wide at one point. Like, they both kind of try.
Norris slips off the track.
They both are trying so hard to not go into the pits. Like, they even mentioned it in the post-race. They're like, Lewis was like, I didn't want to go in. Like, I ignored the first call. Like, the Mercedes pit lane was, pit crew was there, ready with his tires. He didn't come out. It was, like, team orders, So, anyways, Lewis pits. And on the radio, you still hear that he's, like, upset.
And just that whole, like... I remember when he pitted, I was like, oh, my God. Like, my heart, like, just sank for Norris because I was like, Norris, you got to hold on and you got to do this.
25 seconds.
Like, you got to do this, man. Like, and I think they probably told him as well, like, Lewis is in the pits and da-da-da. And I think he told them to, like, shut up. He's like, shut up. Like, I'm just going to go, right?
He's like, we need to commit to staying out.
Yeah. And he committed, and
Lewis hunted him down so fast.
No, it just got way too slippery.
And Norris
couldn't keep the pace. Obviously, you can't have grip. The guy was literally sliding on the track.
What did they call him?
And it is just, like, heartbreaking. They went through that one turn. I think it was the same turn 4 or 5 or whatever. And they go through it. Lewis is, like, had caught up to him by this point.
25 seconds.
Because Norris had, like, it was just kind of...
Bambi on ice.
Yeah, slipping all over the place. And they go through this turn, and Norris just glides right through the turn. And Hamilton makes it. And it was just, that visual was just, like...
Heartbreaking.
It was just, like... Just him sliding through, and Hamilton just making the turn and just gone. It's just, like, you knew in that moment, it's like, shit, this was the wrong call. And it was just because he had that determination, and it was so inspiring to see him do that. And then to just slide out, it was just like the whole thing just came crashing
He had the guts. He was committed to it.
And he was just like, I mean, on the radio, he was just like, I can't do this. I need the inters. But it's like, and after the fact, they interviewed him, and he was just like, yeah, it was my choice, and it was the wrong call. And
people were slipping and sliding, by the way, all around. I mean, you had Verstappen end up in second. Like, in the course of 2 laps, you had Verstappen go from P5 to P2. Like, and Norris had to come in and, of course, get he had to get intermediates. Like, he literally he almost hit the wall. Like, he could not go any further. But it was shocking to see. I want to understand what happened to Perez, because he should have been up there with everybody else.
Yeah.
He was in like P4 or P5.
Perez just doing Perez things, bro. That's what he does.
He just somehow, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. I think I was like losing my mind. And he like did not hold steady. So we had Hamilton, Verstappen.
Verstappen battles his way all the way back up to the grid to P2.
I mean, God bless Hamilton. He finishes a whole minute before everybody else.
I mean, that was just the fact that Verstappen was able to make it there was amazing, but also for the championship, because now the amount of points that split them is like
2 between them,
2 points, which is so great because I love seeing both these guys like just battle. And then you get Sainz in third.
Max surprised himself.
Ricardo in fourth, good for him, right?
Yeah.
Bottas, Alonso, Norris had to settle for seventh.
Raikkonen,
Perez, and Russell
at least got a point.
Yeah.
Stroll and Vettel did some dumb shit, pardon me, but they did some stupid stuff. Like Stroll just like did Stroll shit.
No,
like
he squeezed Vettel was trying to pass him.
Yeah.
And he squeezed him against a wall. He hit
twice, I think, hit him.
You know?
It was ridiculous.
But I mean, with all that said, like, one thing I did want to say is like there was a point in time when Williams was like, "Oh, we can't get a point. We just want to get a point." Like that was a huge win for them.
Yeah.
And now it's like
they're telling their driver to slow down.
No. I mean, like, he finished 10th.
Yeah.
And he's got points. And the last race, he got a podium. And it's like, what?
Or the quali, he got a podium. Yeah.
Or, sorry, that was not...
quali. That was quali here. He got a podium.
No. In which one was it? The race that got rained out. He got podium on that.
Oh, yeah. He did.
It was a race before last, right? So it's just like... What a crazy turn of events, right?
That was such a horrible race. I completely... see, that's like how much I don't remember that, because I'm like, that wasn't a real race.
Yeah, I mean, it's just heartbreak for Lando. But you know what? This is what separates, like, the good from the great.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
He needed to learn this lesson.
That's what separates
it. He will never forget this.
Like, Lewis, it's like, yes, like, it is hard to just kind of be like, no, I need to... stay out and I'm going to win this race and I'm going to drive and I'm going to win and da-da-da. But it's like Lewis knows, like, okay, yeah, like, no, like, this is like, he felt what the car felt like, and he's like, no, slicks are not going to work. Like, there's only a few laps left, but we need to go to inters and we need to just finish this race that way.
I think it was two things. I think it's the understanding as a driver that, like, your team has intel that they're trying to tell you. Yeah. And listening to team orders.
You gotta trust strategy sometimes.
It's a ladder, right? Yeah. A ladder effect. So a lot of in the post-race, a lot of the drivers were posed a question about whose idea was it to come in for inters. And a lot of the drivers said it was the driver's decision because they're the ones who feel the conditions out there. And they're the ones that can tell how the car is moving. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of intel coming from the team. I feel like in Mercedes' case, and I don't know if this is true or not, I feel like there was a team order that he is coming in. He refused the first time, and then I think it was a team order,
which is not unusual.
Which is not a bad thing. It's not. Yeah, it's not. Lewis ignores the pit calls all the time. But it's a game. I don't know. But like, it's like. Because they psych them out all the time.
Yeah, they said it might have been a bluff.
It might have been a bluff.
I don't know how true that is. We'll never know. Maybe if you watch Drive to Survive.
I know. I think there's some like weird.
I think they must.
Yeah, I think they're all playing games with each other.
Yeah, they must do that.
I don't think it's just Mercedes either. I really think that like all the teams are in on this, but like I think that Mercedes just gets a bad rep. Yeah. Yeah. But all of that aside, like at the post race, they said like the drivers were the ones with the intel. Daniel Ricciardo said he's like, I can't speak on Lando's, race, but like for my race, like I needed to come in. You have this experience where you can step aside from like, I need to win this race right now to I may not finish because I know that in these race conditions, things go sideways. Like the whole grid just kind of went bloop. And like, I think that Daniel, Max, like the whole rest of the grid that switched to inters, which is like everybody, they all got it. And I think Lando still got that youth and that, which is great, that young drive youth in him, but he needed to experience this to realize that like he has limitations and it's not just about him.
You know the term how they say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon?
It is, yeah.
He was in sprint mode. He was just like, I just got to get to the end, but it's like, you got to get to the end in first for it to matter.
I think if he had gone on inters, he may have won.
I think so. I mean, I think he was in front of Lewis. He would have gone on the inters.
Yeah.
You know what though? Like first or second.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Not
but he wouldn't have been seventh. But
and it's,
hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah. But in the post race too, like he even said to like Lewis, he was like, Lewis was like, I didn't want to come in either, and Lando was just like, I never came in. Like I never wanted to, and I never did, and I ignored it. So he did fess up to it. I think for a second he did put a little bit of onus on McLaren by saying that like the intel that he was given was that the rain was going to stay consistent. None of us are meteorologists, Lando. Like, love you to bits, but like if there's rain, and get on intermediates unless it's spitting. That's it.
I don't even think it's that, man. It's like if you're driving and you're freaking Tokyo Drift out there, bro.
Bambi on Ice is still my favorite.
Tokyo Drift?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that movie.
I know about it.
Can everyone please just rip Bria in the comments for not watching Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift? If it's friggin', Drift King out there, it's time to like put on the inters and finish the race that way. Like, I don't know.
If you see everybody diving into the pits, do it.
And I'm a hypocrite because I was sitting here and yelling. I was like, "Go Lando, go! Just stay on the track, man! Do like what?" And like, we all drank the Kool-Aid, bro. It was good.
I was yelling at first because I did want him to pit. I kept saying they need to pit because whatever, but
I was just
I'm just a better pit strategist than
when Lewis came in, I was just like, go, man,
I know.
go.
I was like, run.
I was like, yeah, run.
It's only like, 25 seconds.
It's like when the murderer in the horror movie comes in the house. Run, man, run. Don't stand around. Just go. Just do
7 a.m. in this house. It was too loud. It was too loud.
That was a great race.
It was an amazing race. It was
what are
beautiful.
we looking at next race? Let me see what we got.
I wanted to say.
Did you have anything else to add to that?
No, I don't think so.
Upcoming, we have Turkey. Why do we say it like
I don't know.
Turkey. Why do we say it like a German accent?
I don't know why.
Turkey.
Turkey.
The Turkish Grand Prix.
When is that?
October 8th weekend. So right now we're looking at September 26th. So we're going to take one weekend off from F1. And then
oh my God,
Turkey's
at 7 a.m. Come on.
Yeah, man. But the next few races, remember I was telling you, like the next few races are going to be like the U.S. the one the United States Grand Prix is October 23rd, and that's going to be like what do you call it? Like a midday race.
Oh, that's a 2 p.m. race. Oh my God, that's great. It's after Milo's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's going to be amazing. Qualifying is at 4 to 5 p.m. on the 23rd.
Great. This is amazing, man. We should go to Texas, dude.
Yeah, we should.
We'd be in town for that.
That'd be amazing.
We totally should.
We seriously should.
I would love to just be in the area just to like.
Aren't you shooting that weekend?
Yeah.
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 So, don't get my hopes up.
The night we can get a night. It's just Texas, dude. You get to Texas, no probs. How much is a ticket to Texas, man?
I don't know.
Someone tell us.
Or we'll Google it. It was fun though. Today's race was amazing. Oh, but we should end on this note. Lewis made like a huge accomplishment today. 100
race wins.
Centurion.
Yeah, cool.
Wow. Come on, that's amazing. There's nobody else sitting at that table.
I don't know what to really say to that.
Toto, I think, said it perfectly, where he was like, we won't realize the ramifications of this today, tomorrow, or even like the next couple of weeks or months. Like in the years to come, that's a huge accomplishment. Like Mick Schumacher, Senna, like none of them like can touch that.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So Sir Lewis Hamilton, happy Centurion, my friend.
Happy Centurion race to you, my buddy.
Christian Horner could not say Centurion today.
You want to go to Texas? $80 a pop.
Let's do it.
I am so down to.
I'm not even kidding.
Trip.
Let's go. I'm down.
I'm down to for $80, dude.
I'll go. We'll have Helen take care of Milo.
Like an Uber for me just to the airport is like $50.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll take a flight to Texas and like chill in some kind of area while I'm watching with all the.
Let's do it.
With all the COVID.
Bet. I don't know what it means. Can you explain to me what that means really quick?
Bet is like, yo, down.
Okay, bet. Can you shake my hand though? That was really rude. Thank you.
You know what down? You know, it's like, yo, I'm down.
Yeah.
That's what bet is, kind of.
Awesome. I'm learning things. Tinfoil hats aside.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
all right.
Bet is I concur. Or let's do it.
Yeah.
If you want to get like crazy, or it's like
Okay.
I'm down.
Okay.
I understand.
Let's eat some dessert. Bet.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah. So, I mean, I appreciate everyone who's listening. I hooked up a few more listeners over in Vancouver. I made some of my buddies out there when I was shooting weddings. Appreciate you guys if you're listening.
I don't know if I have friends.
But
if
you guys are listening on Spotify, subscribe to the YouTube if you want to see the video version. If you're on YouTube, head over to the Spotify if you want to continue listening on Spotify.
If you want to see our gorgeous puppy.
Follow us on Instagram at F1MyLife. We don't post anything there.
We will.
I will try to. I'm just like, I don't have time.
I do. I
was going to try to, you know what? I'm going to upload our full length things as like IGTVs because that's going to be easy to do. The reels, I wanted to do reels, but like it's like hard to do. But subscribe to everything, guys. We were talking about it. We may do some of these episodes as just audio only without video. So let us know what you guys think about that, or whatever.
If you really want to see our gorgeous
just
puppy.
because we don't want to like, we're like thinking about like, if we don't want to miss podcasts, and if it's easier for us to just do audio, maybe we'll just hook up audio and do audio.
Aren't you proud of us? We're here on time.
Yeah.
The race was this morning, and we did the podcast.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't do the one from last week, so kind of figuring it out. But yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to everything, follow us on everything. We appreciate you listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Milo, you want to say bye? Say bye, Milo.
He's looking at Mama.
Boy.
Say bye.
Boy, baby. Oh, he's so soft.
He's so soft.
I love it.
He's so clean.
Do you just wash him because you want him to be soft?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He's the best.
I love you.
Yeah, sweetie. Yeah,
Milo,
baby.
did you want to say anything to the people? Should I give you a mic here? You want to say something? You want to say something to the people? Say something.
He never says anything.
Oh, don't eat it!
Milo, drop it!
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Drop it.
Give it.
Drop it.
Oh, jeez. Okay, we got that on video. Ew, it's like slimy for you guys who can't. I gave Milo the mic and he ate like he ate the wind muff on the top here.
Why would you do that?
Oh, that's gross.
I would let that air dry. He's gonna eat it.
Don't eat it. You don't eat that, you little... That's my fault. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Peace.